Hi everybody, Mr. Stanley here. Today I want to talk about a project that was very dear to my heart back in 2007. It's still one of the best albums that I've produced. It's a collaboration between my cousin and I, and it's called Melogy, for the first time and the last time. And um, yeah, I don't know why I used to put the CDs in DVD cases, but anyways, this is the full artwork. Um, that's supposed to be like a planet. The girl's leaving and the guy's crying and hopeless romantic, and then there's like Jupiter or something, Saturn. I think Saturn or whatever. Anyway, so on this uh, for the first time and last time album, um, there's 20 tracks. First track is Stuffed Animals, which once again, just like the last album, the Nostalgic Brothers, 20 years later, I wanted to start out the album with a instrumental. So the beginning kind of reminds me of kind of like a Tibetan kind of like chant, I guess. I'm not sure what kind of instrument that was. The da-na, da-da-na. That could be probably just an effect on the guitar or something. I honestly don't remember. Um, and then the second song, In the Moment. I don't remember how I came up with that. I think we started with the instrumentals first and then I came up with the lyrics second. It's not about any particular person, but it was once again, I had never fallen in love up to that point in my life. So I think that was just like, oh, what if um, I really like somebody and in the moment, you know, like just basically having a moment or something. Third one, Spackham, which stands for She Put a Curse on Me. Um, and the do, that melody for some reason came to into my head, and I thought it was very catchy. Once again, I think it was one of those chords that was mainly played in a minor key. Um, and yeah, I wanted to sound really exotic, like from the East. So I was thinking like, oh man, this kind of sounds Japanese a little bit, Hawaiian maybe. I don't know. So so that's and then infuse that with like some indie guitar sounds. The yeah, it's one of those songs that was originally planned to be a really long, like 6, 7 minute song, but we ended up with uh, almost 5 minute song, and I was really happy with it. Definitely one of the stronger songs of the album. Um, then we have Love Dust. Love Dust is an album that I had borrowed my audio video teacher's MIDI keyboard. So that keyboard was actually connected to, the GarageBand, the software that I use um, with Apple. I think it was MacBook Pro, one of the first MacBook Pros, I think, first or second generation. Anyway, um, and Love Dust was supposed to be kind of like a psychedelic 1970s you know, song. Just really atmospheric, moody. Love Me, Darling um, has the high pitched voice again, like Kid Brother. So I guess technically Kid Brother is in one song um, in Melogy. Da 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 da. Um, that I don't know. The dun 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 dun. It is kind of like just youthful energy song, and then somehow we just threw in like a really low laughter towards the end. The ho 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 ho. That I'm not sure where that the hell came from. But we added that and and it seemed to kind of like just balance out the quirkiness of the high pitched like kids singing. Really, Love Me, Darling. I don't know why I put it in this album, to be honest with you. I mean, like at the time, it seemed like it was a good fit. Like, but like, I mean, why would you have like an indie album and then in one of the songs you just have a complete different singer? Anyway, Mystery Girl is a melody. Um, I really got that idea for the melody from a James Bond movie called "You Only Live Twice." So if you look up "You Only Live Twice," the theme song, I think it's by Nancy Sinatra or whatever. It kind of sounds similar, and you can see where I got the idea for the melody from. And I figured it should be like an old school like organ. The do. It just sounds so cool and mysterious. Um, and the song is really about a cat burglar. We can just lay that to rest. It's Catwoman, wearing all black and just sneaking around in the night. And and the next song is called "So This Is the End." Um, it kind of it reminds me of a Johnny, just like the Johnny Cash style, sort of, and it's just kind of like dark, and it's like, "So this is the end, my friend." Just very you know, just very, I don't know, just apocalyptic and just like grim. Next one, BND stands for Brand New Day, which is, if you heard the first Nostalgic Brothers album, it's basically a remake of Brand New Day. Um, we kept a lot of the same tracks from the original Brand New Day, and Adam just kind of spiced it up with like the updated drums and like the electric guitar parts. When You're in It is kind of like a science fiction like track that I just thought, oh, what if we put that in? It's kind of like a sci-fi thing. It's kind of going with the Melogy, the melody plus technology idea. Um, and number 10, for the first time and last time, was supposed to be just kind of like a easy listening song that you probably hear on the elevator going up, going down. You just hear the whistling, kind of like the whistling in "She Put a Curse on Me." It's back on, but this really um, was a chance to showcase what Adam could do with like the solos. So in theory, he did a lot of basically basically for that song in particular. It's just phenomenal. You can take one person and they record multiple tracks, and then it sounds like a band. Um, Drum song is the next one. Um, we wanted a very minimalistic song to sound kind of like pop punk a little bit. It's just guitar and drums and vocals, I believe. And I that's the only track that I think I actually played the drums on, if I remember correctly. I was like, dun, 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 dun. Basically, Adam was just giving me pointers. So I played the live drums on that track, and it's spelled drum song because it's supposed to be dumb song, but we spelled it with DRUMB, drum, instead of dumb, DUMB. Yeah. Anyway, uh, the next one, Somewhere on the Moon, is one of my favorite songs on the album. It just sounds so chill and laid back um, and dark a little bit. Um, it's just cool. I can't describe it. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's the melody. The do 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 do. So most of that I have Adam to thank for because that melody is just fantastic. It was just one of those things. I did a little, and then he added on to that, and then I did a little bit more, and then he added on to that. It wasn't it wasn't like most of the songs on this album where I came up with the melody and then he just kind of improvised around, you know, like you know, essentially a lot of the tracks I would come up with an idea, like a bass track, I guess, and then we just added on to that. But Somewhere on the Moon seemed like, if I remember correctly, it was just kind of like we added a little bit here and there and here and there, and just sounds so organic and just natural. Um, Unchained Melogy, um, I think is all. It doesn't even really make sense. Mellow me, melody, melody. I honestly, it was a play on the word Unchained Melody, um, by the something brothers or something. It's a love theme from Ghosts, the movie Ghosts from with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore from 1990. But this was just another one of those kind of long songs. It's a little bit over 4.5 minutes, and it was just another one of those just goes on and on type songs. Doesn't really mean anything. It's not written for anybody or anything like that. Now, Sorry is the next one. I played the piano on this one. Um, but the lyrics do kind of have some meaning. At the time, I think I was like 2006, 2007. I was 26 ish, and I really felt like I didn't accomplish anything worthwhile. I dropped out of college, and it was just one of those like, to friends and family, I'm sorry to you. Um, and it's just kind of like, if I imagine myself like if I died that year or something, I'd just be sorry that I wasn't a much better person, much more accomplished person. 15, Happy Note, was about me moving away. I knew, like I was trying to move out by 2007 to, I didn't know where I wanted to go. I was still living in Georgia at the time. But eventually, a year later in 2008, I did move. I did move to Washington State, where I currently am. Um, so it was basically happy note. I'm leaving on a happy note. Um, you know, um, and it wasn't really particularly for anybody, um, just friends, family or whatever, relatives, telling them I'm gonna be leaving. And I don't know. I don't think it was like a foreshadowing thing. 16, Midnight Radio. Originally, I had planned for Midnight Radio to be the last song, and I thought it would be a good, way to end it. And I had Adam as the radio host, Baboon Miller. We just came up with that name. I was like, come on, let's come up with a cool name, Baboon Miller. I don't know why. And then we just kind of played like a short song. We we it was like as if the whole premise of the idea, the song, was we went on a radio show and then the radio DJ introduced us and then we just played an instrumental out, instrumental in and an instrumental out at the end. And then we recorded some other songs that were technically considered B-sides or whatever. Timeless is based on a Weezer song. I think it was Holiday, Holiday, na, 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 from the first Weezer Blue album. Um, if I think it's Holiday. That's why at the beginning it sounds like Weezer, and towards the end, um, I think Adam made it sound like Queen. The the uh, the really awesome like the guitar solo is really really cool how he figured that out. And then number 18's Back Home Again. She Put a Curse on Me. Um, not really about anyone in particular, because no, it's just I don't recall. Um, but it was just really attractive women in general. They put a curse on me, and then I'm awake 3 in the morning, uh, thinking about them. Um, and Number 19, In Happiness and Bliss. Um, well, that was technically the very, very, very first song. I believe we recorded it really late in 2005 or sometime in 2006, probably. And and I was like, well, we gotta include our first song on the first Melogy CD, right? Album. Um, and it's that was the direction I wanted to do, like really long songs. That's why In Happiness and Bliss, um, lyrical wise, I think it was so bad. It was like I don't cook, I don't do. It's just it doesn't make sense. I mean, some of it rhymed, um, and it was just supposed to be like one of those like rock ballads, with piano, dun 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 dun. And then like for the last 3 minutes, it was Adam like adding like three to five layers of violin with like the solo, um, and I think it turned out. I think it turned out pretty good. And of course, it's written for nobody, but assuming like if I fell in love with somebody, that's the love that I would feel. I guess, if that made any sense, you know. And then finally, the last song, Mystery Girl, acoustic version. You can, if you listen closely enough, you can hear the 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 other parts of the song on certain parts of the acoustic version, because essentially what happens is I took out the other layers, but when I was recording the vocals, um, I had headphones on, right? So so because the other layers are coming through the headphones, you know, you can hear my singing, which is recorded through a microphone, but the microphone picked up the other parts. So faintly, you can hear um, other parts of the song, like drums or like guitar or other like synthesizers. Maybe not synthesizers, but the organ part. The doom, 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 doom. Yeah. So that's it in a nutshell for the first time and the last time. We uh, we recorded other stuff for Melogy, but only like a handful of songs. Literally, it was like maybe 3 to 5 songs after 2007, because in 2008 I moved away, and we managed to record one song in 2008, and then like two more in 2009, I believe, and then there were like other versions of other songs from Melogy. Um, as I look at Melogy, I would love to do more with Melogy, but just because my cousin is in Georgia and I'm in Washington, it's just kind of hard, and we all have, you know, busy lives and stuff like that. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.